Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the Atrioc broadcast here on July 24th, 2025. Captain ACL Tear. I'm calling your name out alone, nobody else's. Captain ACL Tear, it's great to see you. I'm doing this whole stream for you. One audience. That's all I need. Okay? So sit the fuck down, sit up, and let's go. Gamer girl Aaron, thank you for the 41 months. I'm not 41 years old, but you've got that incorrect. Boom the Bass, thank you for the 3. Warbler, 88, thank you for the 47 months. How's everybody fucking doing? Simple question. Simple question to kick us off. How's everybody fucking doing? You know what I'm going to say next. Can anyone guess what I'm going to say next? It's fucking hot in here. It's hot in here, bro. I got to turn the air on. It's fucking hot in here. Good god damn, it's hot, dude. I gotta find some type of way. If only they'd invented something that could condition the air to be colder. Alas, it does not exist. I'm just trying to recreate Europe here in my streaming room so that I can get a feel for how European mind operates. You got those dogs out, no slippers? No need to comment on it in such a crude way. Yeah, I am not wearing slippers or socks because it's too hot in this room. So I got to keep the dogs out. Freezer shirt. Honestly, I don't think freezer shirt is powerful enough to handle the level of heat. A freezer shirt would only cool my torso, but I really need a full body cool. I need like a freezer snuggie. But that ironically would trap the heat. Freezer socks could work. Freezer socks could help. An ice bath? What if I just stream from an ice bath? Check out this tweet. It's relevant because you're old. That doesn't sound very nice. Doesn't even seem relevant. I think you have a product idea brewing for those who can't cool down. Keep working on it, champ. Thank you. Fucking thank you. A little bit of support for once from the chat. Poison Virus is thinking, hey, maybe this air conditioning thing could work. What happened to perfect LA weather? It's a very beautiful day. Doesn't mean the house is not hot. What's the temperature in LA right now? Temperature in Los Angeles. It's 76. Oh, God. 76 and sunny, by the way. It's 4 degrees too hot, that's sure. But it's not. It's 76 and sunny. Do you not have AC? I do, but I don't have it on. I always forget to turn it on until I'm going live. And then I realize I'm in a fucking sweatbox. LA cope. I'm not coping. It's 76 and sunny. I'm not coping. That's a great weather. It's a beautiful day. That's not cope. What do you... I'm not in Death Valley, bro. It's a nice day. He's got to justify his mortgage. Yeah, you think I have a mortgage? You think I'd ever take on debt? Found out my mom watches Candace Owens. Great news. Always good. And now believes that Brigitte Macron is a man. So that was really sad to learn, that my parents fall for conspiracy theories. Yeah, that is sad to learn. Unfortunate. You know what you should do? Start feeding them more conspiracy theories. You have to overwhelm it. Okay? Don't try to say, oh, that one's not true, that one's not true. Just be like, yo, that is true. And you know what else is true? Bush didn't do 9/11 because the vampires did it first. Bush was on his way to do 9/11, but the vampires did it first. Like, throw some more stuff at them until they... Bush is a lichen. Bush is a lichen, and he's fighting the vampires to be the first to do... It was like a WoW world first race to be the first to do 9/11. What are we talking about? I interviewed Lena Khan. I shouldn't be talking about this. We gotta focus up here, bro. I'm talking about vampire werewolves. Um, you're my first and only Twitch sub. Will you officiate my wedding? Can I do it teleconference? Can you zoom me in and I can be like, you're married? Imagine having a Zoom wedding with a streamer as your pastor. Dude, I really got to start farming this. Dude, I sorry I've been so AoE obsessed lately, but I was watching Harris stream. He just every action he takes, he monetizes. That's what you have to do to survive in a 21-year-old game. Anything, it's like, oh, you want me to play this Civ? $10. Oh, you want me to use this unit? $10. People are just and people do it because it's an old game. People love it, so they're just like, okay. I mean, I've done it. I paid for Vikings, but he has turned it into a cash geyser with a smaller viewership. He's figured out how to do it. We all know you're just building up your fan base before the far right crypto grift. Honestly, I think of all the people on the internet, I would have, other than CoffeeZilla maybe, I would have the hardest time getting my audience to do a crypto grift. I think it would be so hard. Like, let's say there's a gun, someone kidnaps my dog, and I love my dog. They're like, listen, your dog's going to get this bullet unless you crypto grift. And I got to figure out how to do it successfully. I think it'd be impossible. I don't even know how I'd begin to do it. There's nothing I could say that would make my audience not immediately fucking revolt if I brought up a crypto grift. This one's different. Enron coin? I couldn't do it. I don't think that's true. Marketing major? You have to have a good product. Marketing can't only do so much. I don't know. I really don't know how I'd go about it. How would I crypto grift you guys if I really wanted to do it? I guess what I'd have to do is make you think you're in on it too. Like I'd have to be like, hey guys, listen, I got this opportunity. It is a massive scam. It is a scam. But I'm telling you on the stream before I tell the YouTube. So if you get in early, we can pump and dump the YouTube. Listen, I got to do it. It's just, I think this actually would work. I'm actually such a good marketer. I actually could get you guys to fucking do it. Well, that's bad. That's bad news. I'm not going to do it, but that's at least I have an exit strategy, right? At least I got a back up. Because at the end of the day, who cares if we pump and dump the YouTube? Get arrested by Lena Khan. Do you think Lena Khan is a police officer, B, part of the SEC, C, that we enforce crypto scams in this country, D, still active in the administration? None of those things are true. Literally no situation in which Lena Khan could arrest me. Do you think she worked as someone who could arrest somebody before? Do you think she even arrested monopolists? No, she just tried to play it up. None of what you're saying makes any sense. Citizen's arrest, I see. She's like a Batman style figure. I would appreciate it. In this crazy fucked up world, don't you think sometimes it'd be nice to have a Batman style figure just dispensing justice? A vigilante? Do a rug pull up for charity. Sorry, what does it say? Do a rug pull for charity so that we're the assholes if we don't contribute. Speaking of that, bro. Rough stuff with V Shoujo. I don't know if you guys saw the tweet. I will say this. This is obvious what happened, bro. This is obvious. This is so clear. This is like off-brand. This is just a company that raised $10 million and bought a bunch of things and then realized they were making no money. That is exactly what happened. I just want you to know. That is, so yeah, unfortunate. What are you going to do? I understood literally 0% of what they do. I'll explain it really simply. VShojo was a talent agency for VTubers. So they would help VTubers get sponsors. They would help them set up their cameras and systems and avatars and blah, 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 blah. And because VTubing was a hot industry, they were able to raise a lot of cash. People were like, oh, I want to own a piece of VShojo. This is a booming industry. Now, the first mistake was raising money. That's always I've seen it happen in Silicon Valley so many times. Startups go, okay, I need to raise a ton of money because that's what a cool startup does. And then you have all this cash and you start just hiring people and buying office space and going to conferences and flying private. And you do all this fucking shit. And then you realize, wait a minute, the money's all gone and the business isn't even any better. The business is not any stronger. And this happens a lot. This happens a fucking ton of time in Silicon Valley, and it happened with this business. Yeah, so unfortunate. Are VTuber talent agencies just MCNs that got too cocky? It's all the same thing. All these creator businesses are like, they're a group of people who think they can make enough money selling sponsors for their talent to pay their own salaries. Some of them can, like Loaded. Most of them can't. You have to sell a lot of sponsors because you only get 10%. And you know, let's say you have a big creator like Iron Mouse or something, and you sell a huge sponsorship deal, $1 million sponsorship deal. You keep 100,000. 100,000 pays for like one person's salary in Silicon Valley. Okay? So you're going to need a lot of $1 million deals to pay for a staff. VShojo was taking more than 10%, was still not profitable. Well, there you go. I'm shocked they were taking well more than 10%. The standard is like 10, 15. I guess it could be different for VTubing if they have to do all the tech stuff. Mostly it's just sponsors, right? But if you're handling all their tech, they need to learn the Grant Cardone millionaire mindset. But they own the IP too. My understanding for VShojo is they don't own the IP. That was the whole thing. Was that VShojo does not own their IP. They could leave and keep their talent and their character. So again, that's a tough business. And you can make it work if you run lean. That's what I've always been saying. I'm on this whole run lean mindset. Do you understand that if VShojo was like 3 people working scrappily, they could have been fine. But when they have a massive staff and they're flying around and they're having these events and they're just fucking young lean runs lean. Do you understand? Or just pretend to be a VTuber agency and sell crack. That's a profitable industry. Is that why you like Lena Khan? Dude, photoshopping Lena Khan but holding a fucking dirty Sprite. Lean Khan. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's a shame I couldn't brought that up during the interview. It's a shame Hulk Hogan died, sad day for America. Okay, I mean, it is crazy that right after I make a Big A video saying the boomers are about to start dying en masse, they start dropping like flies, bro. We're seeing boomers die left and right. I've put a fucking curse out. Hugh did this. Predict the next death. Jeffrey Epstein. I think he's going to actually die this time instead of just faking it. I think he's cooked. They're going to find him for real. Warren Buffett? Oh, dude. This is a morbid thing to bet on, but does Warren Buffett die this year? War. I Googled Warren Buffett poly market to see if there was a bet on that, which there shouldn't be, by the way. It's not a good thing to bet on. But instead, I got this. Will anyone audibly fart during the Berkshire Hathaway shareholders meeting? We are a fucked nation. Our proclivity for gambling is destroying our brains, our minds, our society. People are throwing real money at the chance that someone might fart in the Berkshire Hathaway meeting. How is it even verified? Warren Buffett farts a lot because he is old. That's due diligence right there. If you buy BH stock, eat a lot of beans, then go to the shareholders meetings, sit close to the mics, and rip a fat one during a pause in someone's speech, does that count as insider trading? Holy, that is crazy. These are the important financial questions of our time, folks. These are the important financial questions of our time. Imagine a guy who bet it all and is desperately trying to fart but can't. Dude, it's like Uncut Gems. He's fucking sweating. The loan shark with a gun pointed at him. He can't fucking produce a fart. Warren Buffett's about to wrap it up. He's trying to... That's wild. That uncut cheese. Oh my God, that's good. +2, +3. It's inflation after all. +3.5. Take it. People can't live on +2s anymore. Not in this economy. Not in this economy. +3.5, dude. You need 3.5 just to get the same fucking groceries the +2 used to get you. I don't want to be in the stock market when Warren Buffett inevitably kicks. He's not holding up the stock market, bro. He'll die. He's already passed on Berkshire Hathaway to someone else. Although I think their stock will shed a few points when he dies. He has a symbolic power. Isn't he in a mostly cash position? No. That's a little bit of a misconception. He is in a massive cash position, but I wouldn't say mostly cash. He isn't like over 50% cash. But he has a lot more cash than usual. He still owns plenty of stocks. But most of them are like, the insanely blue chips. Like he owns Kraft Heinz and Geico and, all that shit. He's probably got that cash position because he's going to the casino. Yeah, I assume he's 94 years old. He's about to die, and he wants to put $150 billion on red to feel something in his old age. That's probably what he's doing. I don't think he's making a bet that the market is overvalued. Dude, it is so funny watching Flummy try to get me to click this link. He's not on the death list, so he's probably fine. Have you seen the yearly death list? Check out the death list. He posted the same thing fucking 7 times with different captions until I fucking notice it. Release the list! Release the list! It worked? It didn't work because I didn't click the link. How about that? Caught. I didn't click the link. Your strategy didn't work. How the fuck are you guys doing? And gals and bees, okay? We're inclusive here. How the fuck are you doing? Someone tell me what went on. What happened today? Pretty good? You were bought out by private equity. The Librarian Clips channel was bought out by private equity. Fucking congrats. Congrats, dude. Fucking congrats, dude. Finally. Finally a payday for someone who deserves it. That's real hustle. We sold out. I mean, yeah, sell out. That's a fine thing to sell out. That's like the most fair thing to sell out. The idea, dude, you know what's crazy? You're obviously joking, but like, it's not impossible that could happen. You know, it's not impossible. Like, there's a world where something like that could get bought out because it has a steady stream of revenue. It has a business plan that's repeatable. All you have to do is keep farming. I guess you have key man risk in Northern Lion. If NL stops posting or takes a break, you're pretty screwed. It'll be a tough investment on that front. If you just go on a longer cruise than usual, that'd be pretty tough. That'd be pretty tough. I did a speech on the debt crisis for my persuasive speaking class. Super fun. Got a few compliments on it. Congrats, Vulgar Ginger. That's awesome. Congratulations. I had a long day at work today. Well, now it's over. How about that? And now I'm going to talk about... Actually, I think the Trump Powell thing's funny. It's not even depressing in any way. I guess it's cosmically depressing that our president is so hell-bent on subverting the central bank's independence, but it's also just funny. They're just a funny interaction. And it's not like it's something we didn't know already. Everyone's asking about South Park. I was going to watch it tonight with Ari just because I heard it's like a big anti-Trump thing and could be funny, but I have not seen it. So no spoilies. And also, it's 2025. Okay. It's 2025, bro. Let's fucking... Hey, Shrock, if you were a goated programmer, what would you make to fuck up the American political landscape? I am a goated programmer. I have a Grok subscription and I can vibe code. Okay? I have a Grok subscription and I can vibe code. So I'm already one of the best programmers in the world. I already have the intelligence of 1 million sons at my back. What would I make to fuck up the American political landscape? I'm thinking something like Twitter, but actually effective at organizing. But I feel the only true way is what Elon is doing. You just mean Twitter? He didn't code that, you know. That was just Jack Dorsey's little project that blew up. I don't know what. I guess, you know what I actually think would fuck up what is going to be a problem? Sam Altman was talking about this, the OpenAI CEO. He had like a speech to bank CEOs, and he was like, "Hey, not trying to scare you, but I'm personally very terrified that AI voice cloning is going to be used to defraud banks at scale." Because voice print authentication is used for a lot of financial institutions, and it's really easy to clone voices. And he said this keeps me up at night. Generative AI is empowering hackers much faster than banks can respond. Now, obviously, we talk about this, it's kind of funny, but if you're a person who has a decent amount of money in the bank and then one day you check and it's been drained because somebody fucking cloned your voice, that's life ruining. You know, that's fucking scary. That is a scary outcome. Couldn't they just not use the voice check? Yes, you should set that. But many banks still do use that, right? So, good thing I don't have a lot of money in the bank. Yeah, I guess you're right. I think the real strategy to avoid this is to get rid of all your money and possessions. That way no one can steal from you. Very wise. Very wise. I don't get it, though. How would my bank know my voice? I feel like they barely know I exist. I don't know how to say this, but the voice authentication stuff is for a different tax bracket, I think. I don't know how to say this to my employee. It's just not, it's probably not something you're... but they do use it. I'm just telling you, it's not fake. It's a real thing. Also, those unpaid invoices are not getting me there. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. All right. Let's see. I'll pay you each one invoice per video edited this month. Let's check. We got Lost in New York, and that's it. That's the only video this month, and that was edited by Jelly. Okay. All right. Oh, I see. So we've got a grand total of 0 paid this month. Interesting. That's so interesting. I better pay you or I'm gonna get V Shoujo, dude. Let me fucking click this fucking link. Wait, this one's already paid, bro. Which one are you talking about? This one's also already paid. Are you joking about unpaid invoices? I just clicked all 4 of these. They're all paid. Yeah, I'm just lying for fun. Okay, cool. Cool. Love that. Love that. That's cool. Lying for fun. It's fucking awesome. It is the best. Why are you not paying on 90-day terms, leaving money on the table? Dude, I remember early days of Lud when me and Stans were handling his sponsorships. What a fucking nightmare that was. In the early days of Lud, America's Card Room, maybe I'm saying the wrong company. I don't want to get him in trouble. One of these poker companies tried to do net 180, net 360 or something. They tried to pay like a year later. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? America's Card Room. I'm not 100% sure. It was a poker company, but I don't remember which one it was. I remember it being ACR, but why not put all your money into gold and bury it? When I talk about gold as a, hedge against uncertain times, I'm not talking about physical gold in a box in your backyard. I'm just talking about a reasonable percentage of your portfolio and an investment that is good in tumultuous. I'm not a gold bug. I'm not an old prospector. I'm not a guy with a gun and ammo and beans in a bunker, dude. I just think gold is, there's a lot of reasons to consider it. God, I love them beans. Love that. We got fucking Goldilocks over here. Okay. You remind me of Rumpelstiltskin. Didn't Rumpelstiltskin famously have no gold, or am I crazy? How does that story go? Rumpelstiltskin, I don't remember his whole thing. He made gold from straw? Didn't the lady do that? Or am I... He was short and ginger. I thought Rumpelstiltskin was like, he really wanted gold and found a lady who could do it, but then... Dude, I'm actually blanking on Rumpelstiltskin. No, he wanted a baby? Fuck, we have to know the story of Rumpelstiltskin. We have to know it. This is a bad thing to segue into, but we have to know.
Gigabox! Hi, I'm Sunny. Thanks for watching this video. You can help support our channel by hitting that subscribe.
This is the story of Rumpelstiltskin.
Is this Cocoa
Once upon
Melon?
a time, a poor miller and his daughter lived in a tiny cottage beside a road. Every day, the king's carriage came down the road, right past the miller's cottage. And every day, the miller watched sadly, wishing he could have even half the king's wealth. Seeing a chance...
Fucking greedy as fuck. I'd be fine with just half the king's wealth. Holy fuck, dude, you're a miller. Let's start with just half is crazy. That's crazy. Dude. I would be happy with just half of Jeff Bezos' fortune. Just 200 billion is all I need. I'm not greedy. You know what I'm saying? He can stick to the 400 billion. I'm fine with just 2.
To impress the king, the miller rushed out and bowed.
Your Majesty, I am only a humble miller, but I'm honoured by your presence.
The king was amused.
Tell me,
He said to the miller.
have you a gift for me to show how honoured you are?
The miller had to think of something fast.
Well, that's a hustle, bro. You're the king and you're asking the fucking poor ass miller to give you a gift?
He
Well,
said
like
the
a
first
streamer.
thing that popped into his head.
I have a daughter who can spin straw.
I thought he was just
into
giving his
gold.
daughter, and I was like,
The
damn, bro.
greedy king's eyes lit up.
Straw to gold, you say? Bring your daughter to me at once.
The miller went inside. A moment later, he returned, pushing his daughter in front of him.
Your father claims you can spin straw into gold.
The king told the girl.
I would like to see that. Come with me to my castle. If you can do as he says,
What an insane... This miller fucking sucks. Like, the miller is a bad person. The miller has just thrown his daughter into a dangerous situation with no plan for escape. And what, that was your plan? You just openly lie with no way out?
I shall make you my wife. But if your father is only boasting, you will both be punished.
Fuck. That's the most predictable outcome to this stupid plan.
The king's footman helped the girl into the carriage, and off they set. When they reached the castle,
I noticed there's not a lot of discussion on whether they're a romantic fit before they get married. Whether she's interested in him. Whether there's not a crazy
king led the
problematic
girl
power
into a
dynamic.
small room, piled with straw. In the middle sat a small spinning wheel.
I will return in the morning to see if your father was telling the truth.
He said.
Now, get to work.
It was
Then
the
he left,
90s? I mean, this is
locking
not
the door
the-
behind him. As soon as she was alone, the miller's daughter burst into tears.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
This is a terrible...
woe is me.
She sobbed.
What am I going to do?
Because, of course, she had no idea how to spin straw into gold. Suddenly, a gruff little voice came from the corner.
Why do you cry, girl? Surely things cannot be
That's what
so
Rumpelstiltskin
bad.
sounds like?
Turning around, the girl saw the strangest looking man she had ever laid her eyes on.
My father told the king I could spin straw into gold. When the king finds out that my father was lying,
Squeaks.
he will be so angry. I cannot imagine what he will do to us.
The man smiled.
I could help. For a price, what can you give me?
The miller's daughter stopped crying at once.
If you really can help, you may have my necklace. It belonged to my mother.
She took off the necklace and held it out,
Everybody's very,
said the man, taking the
everyone's very transactional in the story.
necklace from her.
This will do nicely.
He sat down at the spinning wheel and got to work. The miller's
If Rumpelstiltskin can turn straw into gold, what value does he have on a gold necklace? And what is capitalism? This is literally this is feudalism.
daughter watched in amazement as the spinning wheel whizzed round and the room filled with gold. Then, as the sun began to rise, the little man disappeared. The king was pleased when he saw all the gold.
Amazing.
He exclaimed. But the sight of all the
This is
gold
how gold is
only
made of.
made him even more greedy. He led the miller's daughter to a bigger room, filled with even more straw.
Oh boy.
Let's see if you can do even better.
He said, and, as before, he closed the door, locking
That's
her
pretty fucked
inside.
up.
Once again, the miller's daughter began to cry. She had been saved once.
It'd be crazy. The better ending of the story would be if she turned all the straw into gold, but then the stupid king, whose greed got the better of him, couldn't feed anybody and they revolted and kill him. Like all the livestock died and there was no more straw, and it was like, damn, you didn't think about that. That'd be a fucking twist. Also, the gold market collapses and there's like a 45-minute tangent on inflation.
But could she be saved again? Hour after hour, she paced the room weeping. Then, as the clock struck midnight, she heard the strange man's voice again.
Why do you cry, girl? I did as you asked. What is it now?
The king wants even more gold. I must spin all this straw into gold by morning. Oh, woe is me.
Okay.
The man smiled.
She's kind of laying it on thick now that she knows he can do it. The first time felt like authentic crying, but now it feels like she's really kind of sympathy.
Oh, I could help you again. For a price. What can you give me?
The girl took a shiny ring from her finger and held it out to him.
This belonged to my grandmother,
She said,
Yes. This will do nicely.
Tucking the ring into his pocket, he sat down at the spinning wheel and got to work.
Okay.
Soon the room was piled with gold.
Can you put it on 2x speed? No. In fact, this pause will linger. We're not putting on 2x speed. We're going to fucking enjoy every second of this. We need to truly learn about it.
The little man disappeared just as the sun came up. When the king saw the great mass of gold, he was even more pleased.
Okay.
But it was still
Don't
not
do
enough
it
for
again.
him.
Don't do it again.
Taking the girl by the hand, he led her to even a bigger room.
Fill this room with gold, and you shall be my wife.
He said. Then he left and locked the door. As the king's footsteps faded
Insane.
down
He
the
had
hall,
3.
the little man appeared.
Why did he just start with the biggest room? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to test it out, why not just start with the biggest room?
It seems
Or just
you
have
need
one
help
big room with all the
again.
straw in it.
What can you offer me now?
The miller's daughter shook her head.
I have nothing left.
The man smiled.
Oh, but you do. If you do as the king asks, he will make you his wife. I will turn this straw into gold in exchange for your firstborn child.
Whoa, what?
The girl had no choice. Anyway, she thought, I may never have a child. So she agreed, and the man got to work. The next morning, the king was overjoyed at the room full of gold. He married the girl that very day, and she became a queen. After a year, she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy.
Uh-oh.
She and the king were very happy.
Damn, I didn't remember any of this. I totally misunderstood Rumpelstiltskin.
By this time, the queen had forgotten all about her promise to the strange little man.
You forgot about that? It was only a year ago. The most traumatic moment of your life, where you were locked in a room with a weird troll thing and had to sell out your firstborn child, and you just, slipped my mind.
But he had not forgotten, and he soon appeared before her.
I have come to claim what you promised.
The queen held her baby close.
No! I can give you so much more now. You can take all the treasures of the kingdom, but please do not take my child.
The man shook his head.
The child belongs to me, but I shall give you one more chance. If you can guess my name in the next 3 days, you may keep the child.
Then he vanished.
Who wrote
When
this
the man
fucking
appeared the
story?
next morning, the queen started guessing.
Is your name George?
She asked.
Fred? Ben? Abraham?
With each guess, the man shook his head, until at last the queen ran out of names.
Better luck tomorrow.
The man said, and he was gone. That evening, the queen sent out a messenger to collect all the names in the kingdom. She also asked her servants for ideas. And when the little man appeared the next day,
Bro, I just gotta say, she got used to the trappings of royalty really quickly. She's bossing around servant. From being 1 year ago in poverty, she's like very quickly acclimated to this fucking lifestyle. I gotta be honest with you. She switched up real quick. I don't see a lot of this wealth going to the other miller's daughters out there who are struggling.
she was ready.
Is your name Bernard? Hyacinth? Squall? Mistro? Balthazar? Quockenbush?
At each guess, the man shook his head,
One more day.
and again he disappeared. The Queen spent all night.
Notice how the dad isn't mentioned anymore? That actually is fine. If I was her and I became queen, I would never go back to my fucking dad who basically punted me on this insane, stupid trick that just happened to work. The dad sold me to this guy with a promise that I could never deliver. I wouldn't follow up with it.
Trying to recall every name she had ever heard,
I must keep my child.
she said to herself over and over. At daybreak, her messenger suddenly burst through the doors, looking very excited.
Your Highness,
He said,
as I was returning to the castle, I saw the strangest sight. A funny little man was dancing around a fire, singing this song. I will brew and I will bake, and the Queen's baby I will take. She can't win my guessing game, for Rumpelstiltskin is my name.
You fucked it, Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin, you fucked it so hard. That was the one thing. What a throw, dude. What an insane, insane fumble. Just in public, basically? Like on the walking path, near enough to the castle? That's an insane throw. That's a last second, fourth quarter, 1 yard line choke. Oh.
The Queen wept with joy when she heard this.
Thank you with all my heart.
She said to the messenger. Soon, the little man arrived with a sly smile.
Bro, I gotta say, Messenger is the only one in the story who didn't ask for something in exchange. The messenger should have said, hey, I found out his name, but I want a fuck ton. I got you bent over a barrel on this one. I want half the kingdom. I want your second born. She Ponzi schemes it. She's constantly using her next child to pay off whatever saves her last child.
On his face.
So, have you guessed my name?
The Queen smiled.
Is it?
Problem. Soy smirk. The fucking.
Bobby? Federico? Louis?
Dancing with glee.
Dude, slow rolling is crazy, by the way. Slow rolling when you already know the name is fucking crazy. That's because when you say Rumpelstiltskin, it'll be obvious that you knew it the whole time. So you're actually just slow rolling, which is super BM.
The man shouted.
No, no, no! You lose, I win!
Oh, please.
The Queen begged.
Just one more guess. Is your name Rumpelstiltskin?
The man stopped dancing.
What? How did you know?
The Queen just smiled.
Sorry, Rumpelstiltskin. That is my secret. Now, please.
Just think back to your last 24 hours, Rumpelstiltskin. Was it perhaps when you danced around a fire singing your name loudly?
Go.
The man stomped and stamped and shouted. His face grew red. He pulled out his hair and then he disappeared in a puff of smoke.
How about that?
And was never seen again. The King and Queen lived happily ever after. They had many more children and got to keep them all. The end.
Remember to please like the video and subscribe to our channel.
Wow. That is a different story than I thought. I'll be honest with you. That is a different story than I thought. I guess moral of the story is before you marry a woman, make sure she can literally print money multiple times, and then you'll end up happily ever after. Surely this magical elf is strong enough to still take the child? Yeah, but he's honorable. He follows the law. He follows the rules of his own game, his own twisted game. This is a real Get Smarter Saturdays video. Honestly, we learned a lot from that, and I don't regret it. The video game Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door is a similar format with the character of Dupless, inspired by Rumpelstiltskin. I don't care about that. Let's do some Aesop's Fables next. I feel like I know those already. Speaking of which, you see Superman? I have not seen Superman. There's a new Almost Friday? Wait, let's do a quick check on that. It is Thursday, after all. Almost Friday. Brand new. Run that ish. Oh, it's one of these, though. Well, we'll see. It's not very long. 6 minutes. When you are the first one at the party.
Isn't it strange how a single isolated incident can send ripples through time and space? Leaving an umbrella on a train. A missed call. Could these seemingly innocuous actions really change the course of our entire lives? Or what if the things that we don't even remember are the ones that shape everything?
Lex Dexter.
February 10th. The weekend rolls around in a small town. Craig has decided to invite his friends over for a party. Everyone's excited to go. However, the excitement quickly vanishes at his doorstep.
It was Friday night, and I was having a party at my house. So I sent a partiful invite out like a week earlier.
I got dropped off at the party at 10 p.m. The partiful said come anytime after 8 p.m., so I figured I'd come at 10 so the party would be in full swing.
A seemingly good idea. Unfortunately for Elise, she wasn't the first to think of it.
As soon as I got to Craig's, I was worried because it was really quiet, and then I actually saw through the window that Craig was the only one there. That's when I called my friend Willie because I knew he was close by.
Hey Willie, where are you?
I'm on my way. I'll be there soon.
Yeah, I actually got there way before Elise, but I didn't want to go in before her, so I lied. And then once she wasn't going in, I realized I needed to stall more, so I called Craig and asked if he wanted me to pick anything up. Hey, I'm on the way. Do you want me to stop and get some beers?
I'm actually all set. Just get here because no one's here yet.
I always try to stock up on any kind of booze that my friends like, so they don't have to bring any of their own. I just don't want them to have any excuses.
Well, I have celiac disease, so I need to stop and get some gluten-free ones.
I already got them for you. I know regular beers give you bone and joint pain.
Oh, great. Then I will see you soon.
At this point on the journey, Craig is at the epicenter of his friends, but no one will lead the charge any closer. Why?
I got to Craig's at 9, actually, but when I got there, Willie was sitting in his car and nobody was in the party, so I decided to just walk down the street and sit on someone's lawn until somebody else arrived at the party.
See, this one confuses me because I actually didn't think you'd care if you were the first one there.
If it had been somebody else's party, I would have felt more comfortable. But, even though we've been friends for years, I just don't really, like the idea of hanging out with you one-on-one yet, so.
That makes sense.
Yes, the edge of disaster was mere steps away. One friend actually took those steps.
I walked in to Craig's house at 8:10 because on the invite it said it started at 8. I was just thinking, a couple people would already be there, but that was my first mistake. The second I walked into Craig's house, I knew something was wrong because I didn't hear the normal sounds that you would hear at a party. I just heard what sounded like someone cutting fruit in the kitchen.
I always like to have limes. If someone wants limes with their Corona or Modelo or like a tequila soda or just something I like to have.
To avoid being seen by Craig and having to hang out with him alone, I hid behind a plant. And that's when I saw Angus.
Yeah, so I showed up to Craig's at 7:50, and when I walked inside, I realized he was the only one there. I was the first to show up at the party, and I just completely panicked, to be honest, and that's why I decided to hide in the bathroom. Luckily, he just didn't see me. I decided to stay in the bathroom instead of hanging out one-on-one with Craig. I was kind of hoping other people would show up soon so that I could pop out unnoticed.
All parties were circling Craig and his party, but none courageous enough to move forward. Yes, the first through the wall always gets bloody.
Yeah, that was when I decided to send everyone a text that maybe we should just go home.
I don't think Chet meant any ill will by sending that text. At that point, it just made sense.
I felt bad, but not bad enough to stay, so I left.
At that point, I went over to Willie's car and asked him if he could just give me a ride home.
Just go.
And once Liam and I saw each other and then saw Chet's text, we decided just to sneak out and then head home.
I think a lot of lessons were learned after what happened at Craig's that night.
Maybe if we had just all gone in at the same time, we could have had a fun night.
Or I think just next time we could use the buddy system. That way nobody ever has to be alone with Craig again. So
yes.
I definitely do.
I wish everyone could have made it, but I'll definitely use these lessons for next time. Plus, all the booze will still be here because I don't drink.
Tonight, the tribe learned that communication and the buddy system are the keys to a well-attended kickback. Before I forget, this could happen to you. Could happen to you. Could happen to you. Could happen to you. Could happen to you.
Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Is there be an ad?
What a
Okay. It's an ad. New Sahib Singh. Wait, one more for the real one. Sahib Singh. Let me talk about Trump Powell because it was very funny.
Who?
New Sahib Singh shorts, maybe? When your mysterious aura isn't working on the STEM baddies, so you gotta go intellectual mode.
Ladies, sorry, I couldn't help but overlisten to you guys. We're talking about climate change and how the planet's getting like warmer and warmer over a series of time. I hate that. And I've always said, like, why don't we just put them outside? Like air conditioning units, why don't we just put them outside?
To like make it colder.
You guys on Instagram? You guys on birth control?
Yeah, I'm on white.
Yeah, we started.
Holy, that's insane Riz. That's unreal Riz, to be honest. I'm blown away. That is blown away. Okay, so let's watch this. I want to watch this with you. You know the context? That's not what I want to watch. That's just a Fizz video. We could watch that together. It's just like 36 minutes. That's a Jensen Huang interview. Oh, this first, dude. Wait. This is... We finally found a way to fucking solve it. We finally found a way to solve it. Listen. I talk about the government debt a lot. I talk about the damaging long-term effects of our government's inability to run a balanced budget. Well, guess fucking what? They rolled out a way for us all to be able to Venmo the government directly to pay off the national debt. It now exists. Here's the fucking tweet. You can now do it. You can PayPal, Venmo, debit card. All right? And you don't get any payout. It's not like a bond. It's a bond, but with no payout, no interest payment. Just a direct gift to the government for no upside. New type of taxes just dropped. Yeah. How much of a second of spending would $100 help cover? Based on CBO projections, the government spends about $222,000 a second. Thus, $100 would cover 0.000451 seconds or 451 microseconds of spending. That's a lot. We all chip in a hundo bomb. That's a lot of microseconds covered. We can do our part. All right? These aircraft carriers aren't going to fuel themselves. This could save the United States. Can I Venmo now and pay later? Putting the government debt on debt is crazy. Bill Gates just texted me. He said he'd pay it. Well, Bill Gates couldn't do it alone, so we all have to chip in. Can our payments be deducted from my taxes? Maybe, actually. But it's not a net gain for you. You're still losing after-tax income. If every single person donates a couple 100,000, we can get there. I think that's actually true. How much is the national debt per person? It's only $107,000 per person. If we all just chip in a quick 108 grand, this shit is paid, dude. It is paid. We're good. That's nothing. That's actually not that much. Well, it does count every man, woman, and child in the United States, no matter if you are a newborn baby or on death's door. So every baby's going to need to... So if you're a parent, you're probably going to have to contribute 200 or 300 or 400K based on how many kids you have. But that's fine. All parents in this country are not struggling to pay for anything. So newborns get grinding. How many days would it be if each person pays $1 a day? We're getting we're getting too in the weeds. I don't know. Isn't this taxes? Yeah, it's taxes, but it goes towards the debt instead of to a shiny new tank. 107K days. Well, no, because the debt will increase during those days, so it would be longer than that. It would. Just inflate the economy enough to make it so the debt is equivalent of $10. That's what would happen. Yeah, at the end of the day. But problem is your savings are also in dollars. You know? That's your savings are also in dollars. So they'll be worthless. That's what I'm saying. That's your so. Okay, where's this clip that I want to watch? Where is this mother flipping? Dude, by the way, thank you. Couple things. Thank you to everyone that reached out to me with their tales of retail fraud. All of them are very funny. And I'm going to try and make a presentation about it because it is on the rise. If you have your own stories, feel free to send me a DM on Discord or on Twitter. I did go through, and there was a lot of examples that were pretty funny of people doing return fraud, or hearing about it, or working somewhere where return fraud is committed a lot. And it was cracking me up, to be honest. Some of them are crazy. Some of you guys are very innovative in your inability to just pay for things you buy. I do it with Uber. Wait, how do you do return fraud with Uber? Like you get the ride and then you charge back? Oh, you mean Uber Eats? Oh, you Uber Eats charge back? That's crazy. How was your account not banned? That feels crazy. That's crazy, bro. You got to imagine they ban your account. My friend does that. It's easy. The thing I've always thought is weird is like, if I go to Chipotle, right? I look at the rack next to the register and it's just filled with, DoorDash Uber Eats orders, and people just come in and grab them. If you had no shame and no morals, couldn't you just go in and grab it? Or to even give yourself deniability, can't you I used to work there. They get stolen all the time. Oh, people do that. Okay, I'm not innovating here. That's crazy. That's so fucking crazy, dude. Our whole society's crumbling. I swear to God, it's crumbling, dude. We're in a low trust society. Things are falling apart, bro. Things are falling apart. It happens a lot. Eventually, you get to know the frequent dashers. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, what do you do? Let's say somebody comes in who you don't recognize. He's not a frequent dasher, and they grab a thing. Do you go, hey, Can you prove that? He just walks out. What are they going to do? How do you, what's your, you have no recompense. You're going to tackle him? You're not allowed to. You just got to remake the order? Dude, I know, but then like what? Like the Dasher comes in and they ask for the order and you're like, oh, it's right there. They're like, no, it's not. Is that what happens? It happens all the time? The Dasher comes in and goes, that's so fucking crazy. That's so crazy, dude. Say, hey, I heard you ordered some kick-ass, and then beat the shit out of them. Minimum wage Chipotle fucking employee turning into the Punisher because you're stealing fucking food. It's a big company. Why would the employees care? The employees obviously don't care about Chipotle's bottom line, but they probably care about having to remake the order. Just a pain in the ass to make the same order twice because somebody stole it. It's just wild. Anyway, I guess I was naive. I just thought of that when I was at Chipotle. I was like, damn, you could just steal this so easy. And I guess it happens all the time. The bigger the company, the more I am loyal to it. So true. So true, so true, so true, so true. People do it at small restaurants as well. I saw a TikTok that women in New York are stealing Finance Bros DoorDash orders to try and get dates. Like they're stealing the salads and stuff and then being like, oh, I got the wrong salad. Like messaging them. Like it's a rom-com thing. Like meet cute, huh? Can confirm I'm in finance in NYC and my salad got stolen. They hit you up on LinkedIn. Nothing more romantic than opening with a food theft into a LinkedIn request. That shit's fucking gas. That's gas, dude. That is fucking gas. That is just good mood food. A LinkedIn dating app would go so hard. How would that go so hard? What would go so hard about a LinkedIn date? The world doesn't need more LinkedIn or more dating apps, and you want to give us both. Oh my God. This is not fake? This is real? They're actually making a new Airbud. Airbud returns. Ain't no rules. At this point, in 2026, they would have written a rule about dogs can't play basketball. In the Airbud cinematic universe, in the beginning, you understand the referee's like, oh, we don't have a rule on this, so I guess you can do it. But after years of the dog running circles around the competition, they would have added it to the rules. They changed the rules for fucking Shaq. They'll change the rules for Airbud. Big corpo lobbying? Why would the corporations lobby to let dogs play basketball? Isn't the dog washed by now like Celtic Shaq? I hate to break it to you, the dog is long dead. The movie's from the fucking 90s. The dog is long dead. This is a different dog, obviously. Obviously, he's not washed. He's in the ground. That dogs do not live forever. Believe me, I'm capital D coloning along with you. Every time I pet my dog, I'm thinking, this is not fair. This dog doesn't live to be 100. Oh, you know what? Actually, he's not dead. I'm sorry, Chad. He's at the farm. You're right. Airbud went to the big farm upstate, and he's having a great life. So no worries. I've mixed him up with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is dead. Airbud is alive and at a beautiful farm. My bad. My goof. Can we go see the farm? Nope. Busy. So busy. Can't do it. Can't go to the farm. Okay. Trump. Me when I'm asked my favorite president of all time. Let's see. Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? I want to find Powell and Trump video. It's very funny. Okay. Here it is. Here it is. So, a little context. We've mentioned before, Donald Trump would love to fire Chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell. He'd love to fire him. He really wants to fire him so he can install his own puppet and force interest rates down and try to juice the economy. Powell has been pretty giga chad about standing up for central bank independence and being able to do his own thing and not have to bow to him. And that's been this standoff. Now, normally, the president and the central banker don't even meet. They should be independent. There shouldn't be a lot of influence there. But they met today. Trump made a big deal of it. And this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen very often. I think there's like 3 or 4 times this happens. It's very rare. Like in all presidents and central bankers. And so we then had them meet at the site of the construction of the new Federal Reserve building. Now, if you've watched a previous YouTube video, this is the source of the drama because this construction is costing a lot of money and Trump is trying to use it to paint Jerome Powell as a scammer who is defrauding the government or trying to build a palace so that he can get him fired with cause. He needs a cause reason to fire him. If he just fires him, that's illegal and leads to a big court fight. But if he can say that, well, I'm firing him because of his fraudulent spending on this construction. So they met with hard hats on at the construction site and they had this meeting.
Well, thank you very much. We're looking at the construction and we're with the chairman, as you know. Chairman, come on over. And we're just taking a look at what's happening.
He's so unhappy. He's so deeply unhappy to be here with this man at this time on this camera. Come on over. Come on over.
You know, it's a tough construction job. They're building basements where they didn't exist or expanding them, and a lot of very expensive work. There's no question about it. And Tim has been with me for a long time, and you're in charge of the committee.
Indeed. One of the reasons why I wanted to see it was the overruns of the expenses. Wanted to figure out why.
Yeah. So we're taking a look, and it looks like
he's really focused on these overruns, these expense overruns.
It's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot.
So anyway, listen, it's an expensive project. Don't get me wrong, but it's multi-years long, and it's this massive thing, and it's been approved. My understanding is that there is no overruns on the original cost. And you can see him shaking his head as he describes his $3.1 billion cost. So we'll see.
So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1.
3.2.
This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added.
That's our entire capital plan.
Yeah, you just added in a third building is what that is. That's a third building,
Well,
including
no,
the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work. So,
It's not new.
so we're going to take a look. We're going to see what's happening, and it's got a long way. Do you expect any more additional cost overruns?
Don't expect them. We're ready for them, but we have a little bit of a reserve that we may use. But no, we don't. We expect to be finished in 2027. We're well along, as you can see.
Nice to take these off, everyone.
Boots on the ground, fraud prevention, that's my president. Yeah, I mean, you can tell that Donald Trump is here because he really, really believes that there's a $400 million cost overrun in this construction project, and that he needs to be there and figure it out on hand. And it's not because he is searching desperately for any excuse to try and fire Jerome Powell. I do very much appreciate. Again, I sometimes you have strange bedfellows in these situations where I have to praise Jerome Powell more than I would want to in a different time. I think he's handled this whole saga really well, but he also was super fucking late to the 2021 inflation. So there's, he's not a perfect central banker in my book, but he's done a decent job in this tumultuous time. And I like that he handled that pretty well. I think that was really good. Just immediately recognizing the number didn't make sense, asking to see his thing, looking at it and verifying. Too late, Powell, they call him. So that was pretty funny. Sitting up to this pressure is legit impressive. It is. It is actually impressive. I mean, they're really throwing a lot at him. A lot of press pressure, social media pressure, political pressure to try and break his independence, which is supposed to be independent. I think he's had a good spine about it. Famously there was like forgetting his last name. Arthur Burns. I was thinking Arthur Ashe. Yeah, Arthur Burns was very heavily pressured by Richard Nixon back in the day to lower interest rates, and he did do it. He caved, and Jerome Powell has not caved. What happened next? Inflation, actually. and then Nixon. This will make all the communists that love Nixon happy. Nixon rolled out price controls. He tried to roll out price controls. He literally had a series of price controls where he made it illegal to raise prices, and then of course, the natural response to that was no supply in black markets. It was perfect. It was great. Classic communist Nixon. Yeah. He's changed after interviewing Lena. Maisie, you hog snarfing bitch. Good to see ya. Maisie's in chat. Do you think if we had a race, you would win? Do you think if we had a race, like a foot race? Yes, I would win. I would win. Hey, Dove Rob, I'm banning you. I'm banning you. You gotta stop. You gotta. Actually, I'm timing that because you're a 6-month sub, but you gotta stop. Holy fuck, you gotta stop. Have a fucking ounce of self-control. Do you think I'm fat and obese? No, I think I'm fast. I think I'm like the black Usain Bolt, if that makes any sense. I'm fast, bro. I'm quick with it. I move quick. You can't say that? I just did say that. And I can back it up. He's already black? What? Usain Bolt's already black? No fucking way. Chat, what? That's crazy. Wait, that puts a crazy twist on what I said. Now I feel like a fool for saying it. Oh my God, I was so serious, but then you guys Holy shit. Thank you, chat. You guys are fucking awesome. You're smart, too. Wait, are you going to tell me that Luka Doncic is white? I call myself the white Luka, but that would make no sense if he's already white. Tell me that's not true. Tell me that's not true. Juice, well, thank you for the 33 months. He's Slavic, doesn't count. That sounds problematic. That sounds problematic. Just put the economics pod in the bag. You're not even subbed, bro. Time out. Take a walk, bro. Put that in the bag, bitch. Maisie, it's really kind of fucked up you're not coming to my pool party. I'll just say that. I think it's fucked up that you and Linkus aren't coming to my pool party. I think it's fucked up. I think it's... I'm a little bit... I hate to call you out publicly, but I'm a little bit pissed off. If you had invited me with more than 2 days of planning, I could come. Wait, for real? I didn't think you actually could have come. Listen, just grab a business class red-eye flight for Linkus and a economy class for yourself, and get out here. Get out here and have a good time. It's just that you hate me and you're scared of losing me in a race. I wouldn't lose you in a race. I gotta tell you a story. So there's a video out there. I don't know where it was, but in 2020 or 19 or something, I foot raced Ludwig and I smoked him. Just crushed him. But I was 29 then. Okay? I was 29 and he was 24 or 25. And I smoked him. Crushed him in this foot race. And for the next 5 years, he called me the fastest man alive. Not particularly fast, but I'm faster than him. And then relatively recently, we played one-on-one basketball. And after we were done, did a foot race. And I lost. And it was like, oh no. Father time has come for me, dude. Father time has come for me. Like, what the fuck? I shouldn't... It's like, I got Lightning McQueen. Yeah, I'm faded. Didn't he train for a marathon? He trained for a marathon. I mean, he didn't do the marathon, did he? So what was he training for? I keep asking Linkus to race me, but he's all like, I have medical problems. Like, who are you, House MD? Grow up. Fucking roast his ass. Fucking toast his ass, Maisie. Let him know. Let him fucking know. Grow up, bitch. Get out there. A guy who talks about speed running all day can't run with speed. Interesting. Fucking interesting. In Sweden, they don't have running. Fucking true. I sprinted for a ball in a friendly soccer game at full speed, and now I can't walk for a few days. Being 32 is pain. Relax. You can sprint at 32, bro. It's just maybe you haven't. The thing that got me with the Ludwig thing is I got gassed. It wasn't like a 100-meter dash. We did a longer race, but I got gassed. Like, it was even till about halfway, and then I just fucking slowed down like an old fucking man because I have no cardio. It's bad, dude. I gotta work on it. I thought my cardio would be good because I play so much basketball, but running is its own beast. How are you getting into NBA without cardio? I mean, Fat Luka did it. I think I'm going to be the Fat Luka of the NBA because Luka's thin now, and so they need a bigger man. They need Burger Luka back in, and I'll be Burger Luka, and he'll be Thin Luka. Okay? And I'll just drain threes. The white fat Luka, they'll call me. Teal Bum, you're banned. You're not subbed. Tealbum, take a walk, bro. That's not what they mean when they say to be the bigger man. Plus 2.5, bro. Nice. Very nice. Very fucking nice. Was there anything I wanted to say about the Jerome Powell thing other than that? I mean, I thought it was funny. That's it. They did a little sparring. I don't think there's much else. I didn't have another ton of news. Oh, I did see an interesting piece on how Fox News has been covering the Epstein stuff, because Fox News is owned by Rupert Murdoch, and Rupert Murdoch is being sued by Trump because his other outlet, the Wall Street Journal, is saying Trump is on the Epstein list. So there's this web of connections here. However, Fox News, even if they personally are owned by a guy that doesn't like Trump or is saying he's on the Epstein list, Fox News knows that if they are too mean to Trump, their audience will revolt. So I saw an interesting thing that was like breaking down how they handled it. Like Laura Ingraham, which is she has one of the biggest audiences on Fox, 2 million viewers. She said, we have news coming out about this from the Wall Street Journal. A new report tonight on whether or not Trump has new ties to Jeffrey Epstein on the list. And then when they came back from a commercial break, they dropped the subject altogether. They hot dropped it. Like, she never followed up. She said, we've got news coming right after this break. And then after the break, they didn't talk about it again. They pivoted over to discussing immigration, the dangers of the New York subway, Los Angeles' homeless crisis, and the Coldplay Kiss Cam scandal. That's wild. Like, they made a hot game time decision to not push the story that Trump is on the Epstein list, which is pretty wild. Now, that may change as this lawsuit involves, but it seems like they don't yet want to talk about Trump. They're not at the point where they feel like they can do that without losing everybody. Okay. Oh yeah, Clinton too. The next Wall Street Journal follow-up, we should talk about that, I guess. Bill Clinton also on there. Or maybe not, I don't know, but he's on the birthday book of letters. The one there where Trump did the doodling. Apparently Bill Clinton also sent a doodle or a note. Which, it tracks with what people were saying of why this maybe didn't get released during Biden. It feels like there are some powerful people implicated from both sides of the aisle here that are not being brought to justice. Anyway, that was interesting. Do you have a more progressive vision of the future and the policies you advocate for? You're very pragmatic on if you think we should just stop at the moderate stuff you talk about in your videos. If you believe we can eventually go further and escape the endless political capitalism. This is a sincere question. Is there a country, Trigon, that you think has the economic model you want? Historically or today? Is there one that it has to happen in the real world? Who is this a sincere question? Is there like one that you think? Clancyville? Because if you're saying Norway, that's essentially what I am advocating for. But no, but I hope for a better future. I guess that's fair. I think I'm pragmatic in that I understand how humans behave, human nature, and I'd like to take that into account when I advocate for things. Pragmatic and human nature often used to oppose progress. We can hope for more. Okay, but on the flip side, the word progress is often used to send people to a situation where they're worse off. Okay? Countries can backslide. The name of progress has been used in a lot of things that were actually horrendous for people's freedoms and safety and livelihood. So Johnny Harris, please. Does he have a new one? Is it good? I'm not usually a Johnny Harris guy, I'll be honest with you. I don't like that style of YouTube in general where it's like VCR into the thing, and this is what we're talking about. And then I don't like that. But I thought the 1955 versus 2025 video was good. I like that video a lot. So, nukes are scarier than you think. 47 minutes to tell me that nukes are scarier than I think. I already think they're scary. Why would I care? Nukes are scarier than you think. What am I going to learn about nukes that I already know? They blow up, bro. They kill a lot of people. That doesn't need to be 47 minutes. CIA Harris. Do you guys genuinely think that Johnny Harris is an agent of the CIA? It's fucking insane. He's just a YouTuber. He just makes the slop that hits the algo. I swear to God, I got too many fucking people in my chat that are brain rotted. No, the only CIA agent is Aiden. The only CIA agent is Aiden. He works for the CIA. CIA kind of fell off, TBH. That's also true. It did. It did fall off. Chat's moving so fast, no one will see that I'm CIA. Uh-oh. Caught? Uh-oh. Right at your desk, dude. We just got him. We fucking got him dead to rights, chat. I knew I was infiltrated. Who's your favorite private equity manager? Mine is Blackstone. Yeah, KKR is good too. You're right. Check.
Why does Iceland?
Why Iceland grows bananas? I kind of like this guy. Why Iceland grows bananas? Hoser.
One of the coldest countries on Earth hold one of the only banana plantations in Europe. The answer has a lot to do with why.
Banana farms, easily. It's the best way to build an economy. They clearly saw my BTD gameplay and said, we have to do the banana farms thing from the song. That's
Iceland has become so rich despite its hostile environment. Two things define Iceland's economic history: its location and its tiny population. Iceland sits alongside Greenland in the northern Atlantic.
Dude, the one thing is, though, any video about the economy of, like, Iceland or Greenland or a ton of these tiny countries, is like, their population is equivalent to, like, a Dallas suburb. Like, who cares? Whatever you figure out doesn't work for it. It doesn't matter. It's a little town. It's an experiment that you could do. It's not... You can't do it for a real fucking massive country with hundreds of millions of people.
population. Iceland sits alongside Greenland in the northern Atlantic with its capital Reykjavik north of Anchorage, Iqaluit, and Nuuk. Food has a hard time growing in this cold of a climate, and, as I'm sure you know, humans can't live without food.
True.
So Iceland's population has always remained quite small as a result, fluctuating around 50,000 people for much of its history as it battled with famines and plagues. The country was poorly endowed, not even having many...
Yikes, he basically said Iceland has a small dick. If you're Icelandic, are you going to take that? You have a tiny meat economically, okay? That's embarrassing. Wait, I want to see this again.
Fluctuating around 50,000 people for much of its history as it battled with famines and plagues. The country was poorly endowed, not even having many trees, and for over 200 years it was forced to sell its products only to the Kingdom of Denmark, which it was a colonial possession of. This can make it pretty surprising when you hear that by income per capita, Iceland is one of the 10 richest countries on Earth, and by average salary...
This is Greenland, not Iceland, but I will say this. MFs in Denmark, when they're talking about other countries as colonial powers, yeah, it's fucking terrible what they did to them. And they should fucking reduce their influence. But when Denmark's talk about Greenland and Iceland, they go, you don't understand. You don't understand. They can't be independent. They need to be, because we provide a great service. Their government wouldn't be propped up with that. We actually helped them so much. It's so funny. They switch so fucking quick. The historical ties.
Salary, it's in the top 3. Icelanders enjoy some of the highest quality lives out of anyone on Earth, despite the fact that even 50 years ago, they produced only a tenth of what they do today.
Nice.
The secret has been by smart supply-side economics on the part of their government, particularly of their energy and electricity resources. Per person, Iceland uses the second most amount of energy on Earth, only behind gas and slave-rich Qatar. But stripping out transportation and heating and only looking at electricity use, Icelanders have the most amount of electricity out of anywhere on Earth.
Let's go, Iceland.
It's not even close. Norway is a
Electro
distant
state.
second. They generate 52 megawatt hours of electricity per person. Americans have less than a quarter of that. In total, that means they produce 20 terawatt hours, around the same level as Syria or Massachusetts. The island has no coal, gas, or nuclear infrastructure as well, with much of the energy coming from geothermal sources and most of the electricity from hydropower.
Yeah.
It's a little, what you say, abundant. And
Hydro
it allows
is,
this small
lucky.
and cold country of less than 400,000 people to punch highly above their weight in terms of energy research, growing tropical fruits, and being the smallest country ever to make the World Cup. But it wasn't always this way. Iceland used to be a poor hinterland of Denmark. Back when agriculture dominated our ways of life, Iceland had some obvious problems. Most people on the island were self-sufficient farmers, but because of the tiny population and lack of resources, many moved throughout the year between the coasts in the winter to fish and pastures in the summer to tend sheep or cattle.
Okay.
This meant urban specialization never really happened, with only a couple of towns popping up.
Okay.
The trade monopoly with Denmark didn't help either. All the export products,
that sucks.
mainly wool and fish, were directed to Copenhagen, with trading profits
I
split
do
between the
love
king and
Copenhagen,
Danish
though.
merchants. Most positions of power came from royal...
They do have this fucking disgusting dish in Copenhagen. Actually, it was pretty tasty, but wait, what was it? What was it called? Copenhagen food. It was called. What was it called? It wasn't. It was actually tasty, but it looked gross. I think it was just like an open-faced sandwich with fish on it. Am I crazy? I can't find it. Anyway, it was good. Was it slop? Yeah.
Royal appointments or involvement with the church, and the vast majority of peasants were tenants tied to the land. Most of Iceland's history was one of...
As a Swede, we brag that our fish is the stinkiest. Fucking Nordics, dude. You guys are strange, all right? You got some good stuff up there, good quality of life, but you guys are fucking... You're having stinky fish offs. Acquired tastes. Yeah. I do like salmon. I often wonder what it'd be like to get some fresh Norwegian salmon right in Norway.
Vast inequality marked by stagnation and isolation. Despite the fact that this monopoly ended in 1855, like the rest of Europe, it wasn't until the 1870s where structural transformation took place, as Icelanders got legislative power for themselves. Unlike most countries, though, which have a manufacturing phase between agriculture and services, Iceland's factories never became the dominant force in their economy. Instead, industrialization started in the fisheries with the adoption of steam trawlers and fish processing plants.
Okay.
The country, so small,
There's
has always depended on trade. However, that trade has depended on the technology available to do so. For example, in medieval Iceland, there was little point in shipping cheap, bulky items because it was far too expensive. Most of their imports were small, luxury goods like silver, wine, and whetstones.
Okay.
The exports have usually been derived from their natural resources.
Yeah, it's fish.
Up to 90% of the country's foreign exchange earnings were from fish until the 1960s.
That's crazy.
And when the fish stock had...
A pure fish-based economy. We live and die by the sea, boys.
Plummeted throughout the 1970s, this is when Iceland had started to transition to the electric economy it is today. For most of its history, Iceland was dependent on imported coal and domestic peat and dry dung for its energy uses. That changed in the early 1900s when the first hydropower station was made in a small town south of Reykjavik. It was a beastly 9-kilowatt machine used to power a single carpenter's shop. That's enough to power about 3 modern fridges. Many in Iceland figured they could follow a model laid out by the Norwegians at the time. Build dams, provide electricity, and attract heavy industries like fertilizer or cement factories.
Okay.
The difference was, Norway allowed foreign companies to build these dams as long as they were given to the government after a certain amount of time, while Iceland completely banned foreign investment into them.
We'll do it ourselves.
As a result, these generators were small, built by individuals, for individual use, usually for an individual farm.
Okay.
The state only got involved during the Great Depression, taking over from these tiny generators financed by individuals, and after some decades of chaos, created the publicly owned Landsvirkjun company to build new generators.
Okay.
Even when electricity prices were low and they weren't finding any foreign investors, the Landsvirkjun built to overcapacity, flooding the market with cheap electricity.
Okay.
Meanwhile, another innovation was taking shape that took even more pressure off of their electrical grid.
Hydro.
Iceland sits between 2 tectonic plates.
Oh,
As the
geothermal.
country literally gets ripped apart, magma rises to the surface, heating up many pools of water. Hot springs, geysers, and volcanoes cover the island. Many
Interesting.
underground pockets hold water which reaches 250 degrees Celsius. Drilling a borehole down there could give you easy access to that water's energy.
Interesting.
The first person to
Dude,
realize...
it's crazy that like every form of energy is just a different way to heat up water to make a turbine spin. Everything we do is just hot water. It's all fucking hot water, bro.
This was a farmer from the south. He built a pipe to transfer the heat from a nearby pool to his farmhouse, becoming the first geothermally heated home on the island. No longer would the citizens have to rely on imports or burning literal poo to stay warm. By
Burning
the
poop, though,
60s
that's
and
something.
especially 70s, a concentrated effort was put in place by the Landsvirkjun to heat all homes using geothermal energy. And today, nearly all space heating is done via geothermal sources, as well as snow melting systems, heated pools, and indoor greenhouses.
That's cool.
These are generally found to the south of Reykjavik, where a bounty of geysers and hot springs can be found. The large energy sources have meant Icelanders
see.
can increase...
They have so much energy, they can run these indoor greenhouses that allow them to grow bananas in the north. I'm getting the point of the video. I was like, why are the bananas coming into this? Okay.
Only grow year-round food, including cucumbers, herbs, and tomatoes, which the country sources 75% of domestically. As part of research programs, horticulturalists have been able to grow cacao fruit, oranges, figs, ghost peppers, and yes, bananas.
Ghost peppers!
In the 1950s, there was even a 5-year-long trial to see if Iceland would be able to become a banana exporter, as Northern Europe had lacked a stable domestic supply of their most popular fruit. Yet even under glass, with all this heat and artificial lighting, the bananas had taken about 6 times as long to grow in Iceland as in Latin American or African countries. They simply couldn't compete with the insanely cheap banana prices that have grown into a leading symbol of globalization and intervention and corruption. Today, Icelanders import nearly all of their bananas from overseas.
That looks
and banana
fucking good.
farming in Iceland only lingers
Holy fuck, I love a nice piece of toast with peanut butter and banana on it. That is a great snack. That's a top tier snack. And they put a little cinnamon on there or something. God, that's fucking good. That looks delicious. That is a little honey on there or something. Did you just call me fat? That's a healthy snack.
On as more of a hobby than a leading sector of its economy. The plentiful electricity supply didn't go to waste as their fruit industry never came to fruition.
Ayo.
One of the explicit goals of creating the Landsvirkjun was to attract certain manufacturers to the island. Since Iceland is a closed loop, as in you can't exactly stuff electricity onto ships and send it off, the people who use the electricity had to go there. The magic material which Iceland actually got rich off of is aluminum. Smelting aluminum is incredibly electricity intensive, requiring 14,000 kilowatt hours per ton.
Was Iceland a big Bitcoin place during the boom? I feel like everyone was searching for cheap energy. Was Iceland a big Bitcoin mining location? Oh my God, it was. Iceland was inside Iceland's massive Bitcoin mine. That's good. That's good.
Far more than most metals, so the government saw an opportunity in attracting aluminum firms to the country. Import bauxite ore, use its cheap electricity to ship aluminum off, and keep the profit.
Easy money.
The first to come was Aluswiss, which built an aluminum processing plant in 1969, attracted by low prices. Today, electricity costs somewhere between 7 and 13 US cents per kilowatt hour. Compare that to the US at an average of 17 cents, and running an aluminum plant is around 30% cheaper in Iceland, even with the high...
Okay, but do you understand? Possibly if you were in a different country in Europe, why even a few cents increase in energy costs can be so devastating for your industrial production. People might flee. Like if you were a country that perhaps shut down all your nuclear power plants and it made your energy costs go up, and then and then it became not cost competitive for your massive manufacturing industry, and so they moved it to other nations. It's a hypothetical example of a random hypothetical country.
Their wages and shipping costs, because electricity is by far the biggest input in turning bauxite ore into aluminum sheets. For Americans in the Rust Belt, these cheap Icelandic prices were a factor in losing their industry. From America's peak of 30 aluminum plants, they've fallen to only 4.
Yikes.
In fact, 2 more plants were built in Iceland, both by American companies. Century Aluminums in 1998 and Alcoa's in 2007. A 4th one was partially built but cancelled after their 3, basically only banks had collapsed in 2008. Now, Iceland makes roughly the same amount of aluminum as the entire United States does, or about 1/3 of Canada, or 1/30 of China.
Jesus.
But look at the electricity generation graph throughout this time. Here's when they made those plants. Here's where the Fjotstallr power station is. By far the largest in the country. Here's where the Alcoa plant is. Iceland's massive electricity supply is not going to its people. Only about 6% ends up in households, whereas over 70% goes to the 3 aluminum smelters. And if you still think 3 smelters doesn't sound impressive,
the rest of Bitcoin?
Consider that these alone generate about as much foreign exchange as their entire tourism industry. And going to Iceland isn't cheap. And yet, there's more to do with the electricity, as companies pour billions into big data, machine learning, blockchain, artificial intelligence, and big data analysis. They're going to need the computer power to do such Internet of Things. Companies like BMW already use Icelandic data to render their designs or run crash test simulations. Not only is it about 80% cheaper than running a British data center, but it solves much of the heat problem they face.
A British data center.
To operate, these buildings must be kept at around 20 degrees Celsius, whereas the average summer temperature in Iceland is only about 10 to 12 degrees, meaning they can just use the outside air as a free source of AC. The extra heat could potentially be used to add more heat energy to the already well-built system. 3 companies already operate data centers across the country, totaling 200 megawatts in capacity, contributing to an estimated 7% of total electricity use and 5% of GDP.
How about that?
The hype for data gives the Landsvirkjun extra negotiating power against the aluminum companies,
From aluminum
which
to
critics
data.
say the country has grown too dependent on. Some other critics say they're too dependent on these new data centers, that Iceland's green energy shouldn't go to mining Bitcoin used for crime. The ex-prime minister has called for Iceland to grow corn, not data, with its electricity. But does that make sense? The history of trade routes starts out with small, precious things being traded among willing-to-pay elites. Things like silk, cinnamon, perfumes, and myrrh. Whatever.
I mean, most data centers wouldn't be used for crypto, though. Maybe in 2021 boom period, but I assume now if BMW's buying a data center, it's to use for fucking AI or what, you know, it's not for fucking crypto. So that line of thought doesn't really make a lot of sense. You could just ban crypto mining, which I do think is a waste of your energy.
Then, with the European Age of Discovery and all this new land they had access to, trade became much more about outsourcing land, with popular items coming back to the old world being things like sugar, Brazil wood, and furs. It's relatively recent when we started trading bulky, cheap things, and small countries dependent on bulky, cheap things could join the global economy. Iceland isn't naturally rich in many things, but it is.
I must be hungry because every time I see this food, I just think I talk about food. I'm fucking hungry. I wanted to posit something. Is there a better overall pound for pound blue chip meal than rice, veggies, and a meat? Okay? Bowl of rice, maybe some steak in there, maybe some chicken, whatever, and some veggies. Can you beat that? That's kind of that's an unbeatable combo. Sausage and egg steak sandwich. That's what I'm saying is I think variety is the spice of life. There's a lot of great meals that you could pick instead of that sometimes. But if I had to pick like a daily driver, like a meal that I could always count on, that would be the meal. That's like the GOAT meal, I think. It's the GOAT. Yeah, chicken and rice. Really, you can boil it down to chicken and rice, but I think a veggie in there is really nice. Tacos beat that all day. I fucking love tacos. Tacos beat it, but I wouldn't eat tacos every day the way I could eat rice, veggie, meat. Some people are saying potato veggie meat, which I guess is the more European-focused one. Rice veggie meat is, I guess, the more Asian-focused one. But I feel like rice is just proven to be better than potatoes. IMO. I feel like in a modern globalized economy, I can just say it. I can just say that rice is better. I can just say that rice is beating potatoes overall.
rich in electricity generating capacity. Since that can't be directly exported, the country has to export it
Bought
virtually,
by the rice lobby?
either in metal form or literally virtually. As a byproduct, it's given the citizens some...
I mean, you could go rice, potato, veggie, meat. All right, bro, you're getting a little carb heavy here. I'm eating a bowl of rice and potatoes, and then I'm getting a little veggie meat. It's too much. We add some bread on it too. You want a fucking loaf of sourdough? No, dude. No, if I'm gonna have potato, and I prefer mashed potato, to be honest. Mashed potato, steak, and a veggie is a goat meal as well.
Of the most clean energy and electricity on Earth. Two things which dramatically improve the standards of living for whoever has access to them. Iceland's story is one of skilled management.
Some guy all caps said French fries and mashed peas. That's your goat daily driver meal? French fries and mashed peas every day. You're British. Fucking we spot the British person. That's disgusting. That's foul. That's like what a toddler would eat. Mashed peas is baby food, and French fries is like a child food. Like, yeah, French fries is fine with a burger or something. I'm American. My American showing. How can I bring it back to burger?
Of trade, realizing its full potential by making the most of what they're best at. It didn't work for everything. Iceland never became Europe's banana plantation, but it didn't matter since they found the areas they were the best in the world at. And with that money, just imported the bananas and corn.
Wait, oh fuck. Rank? Wait. Someone said rank? Rice, potatoes, pasta, and bread as carbs. It's actually a fire list. Rice, potatoes, pasta, and bread as carbs. That's such a tough one. They're all truly S tier in their own right. That's a tough one. If I had to rank them in order, for me personally, it's bread number 1, rice number 2, pasta number 3, potatoes number 4. That's my number. That's my fucking list. It's crazy, I know. It's because I hate the Irish, but I believe in it. Here's the thing about bread, is that bread, when done right, is just the most beautiful human food. Good bread is like designed for us. I think our brain has a good fucking third of it dedicated to loving bread. Really good bread is fucking top tier. And then rice, I think, it's just the goated daily driver, and it goes so well with meat. Rice and meat is like, bam. It's just incredible. So those two have to be my top 2. And then pasta and potatoes, I mean, those are luxuries. Take them or leave them, dude. I just like a really good pasta sounds very tasty. And then a potato. I just don't get as excited for potatoes as you guys do. Potatoes are fine. You guys are eating more potatoes than I am. Potatoes are, I enjoy a potato, but I don't go out of the way for it. Like, maybe this is the difference. I've never willingly sat down and eaten a baked potato happily. Like, I've had it, but I would never choose it. I'd never be like, I want a baked potato right now, and I want to just eat that. That's not exciting to me. Insane? I guess insane. I guess fucking insane. What can I do? Coastal elitist? I'm from Arizona, bro. I'm not coastal. I've lived in 13 states. I lived all over the world. I just don't like it. I don't like it. It's just I don't love it. It's just fine. Baked potato always tastes to me like this is okay. In fact, the only time it tastes good is when you load it the fuck up with butter. So it just becomes a butter soup. Unlike bread, yes, unlike bread. Good bread you could eat alone. A truly tasty piece of bread is good on its own. You can just eat. It's just delicious. It's just incredible. Bread is top of it's S tier. Eat a bread right now. If I had a good one, I would. Nah needs butter. No, you're wrong. You don't need butter. Does it improve it? Sure. Or a little olive oil to dip it in? Fuck. Yes. Toasted bread with olive oil. This guy gets it. PepsiTron gets it. Real bread lovers eat the whole loaf plain. Dude, one time, I think, it wasn't France. It was a different European country, but I was there with Ari on vacation, and I bought a whole baguette, and I ate it in the hotel room bed. And she came back, and the whole bed was covered in crumbs. And she was so mad. I just sat in bed, and I fucking ate the entire baguette. This is a long time ago. This is a long time ago. But it's a distinct story, man. I remember it, and it was like awesome. A bed baguette, dude. You can't go wrong. This motherfucker needs to eat before streaming? You're actually right. You're actually right. Okay, listen. Given the time and given that I would like to watch 2 episodes, I think it's time to go to Smallville. We're having our finale day. It is our finale day. Unless there was any more pieces of news I wanted to cover. But I actually don't think there was a ton today. There's probably some business stuff I want to talk about. I talked about Tesla shares, though. Puma had a terrible earnings call. But I think it's fine. I think we're good. I think we're good. I'll bring some stuff for tomorrow or Monday. Okay, so what we are going to do is watch Smallville. But I want to make sure I have some food for it because I'm hungry. Chipotle stock tanked? Bro, I could have told you that. All my chat is stealing from Chipotle. I found out not an hour ago that half this chat is walking in and stealing bags of Chipotle from people that ordered it, okay? So no wonder their stock tanked, bro. You can't sell that profitably. Have you discussed the Japan deal? Bro, the Japan deal. Dude, I was reading today. So they supposedly got a deal with Japan, and the details that America announced for the deal and the details Japan announced for the deal are different. They're both saying a different deal, and they still haven't agreed. They're still not agreed. They still haven't. It's a shit show, bro. Yeah, I think what. Here it is. Those are Reuters or Nikkei Asia. I'm sorry, I forgot I paid for this. U.S. and Japan differ on details of tariff deal with no clear start date. Gotta sign in. Yeah, so they're both saying different numbers, different start dates. And then this is a small detail, but all of these deals have been signed with the country that's not America saying, and we're going to invest $100 billion into America, and we're going to invest $500 billion in America. But it's always like just a vague promise with no concrete strings. And as we know from Trump term 1, like Saudi Arabia promised 500 billion and the actual number ended up being like 40. Like it's like and no one followed up. They just say a number to end the deal, and then Trump gets to announce, and we're gonna have billions flowing into the country. But nobody, they figured out the game is just to say a number. Like, you make some deal on tariffs and you go, and we'll also invest heavily in America. But you just don't do it. Yeah, like Spartan Cool Cody just said he's going to invest $1 quadrillion in America. Trump would announce that. He would go, I got it on good authority. Spartan Cool Cody is going to put $1 quadrillion. It's flowing into the country. We're going to grow like crazy. And it's just not, there's no math to it. There's no truth or veracity. Okay, anyway, Smallville time, but we need to get snacks. So I want you guys to name, actually, maybe we can find we'll play the song. We'll play whatever the song was when this episode aired. And while you do that, I'm going to grab a little bit of a heated up meal. Okay. So we are on, this is our finale day of Smallville. We are on episode 20. We're going to watch 20 and 21. And then that'll be the season. This episode, Obscura, aired May 14th, 2002. The number one song in America when this aired was I think it was still Foolish by Ashanti. But we'll go to number 2, which was this 2002 classic by Nick